back to another video. It is Naomi.
Will.
And all right, you guys, quick commercial break. I know y'all see my ashy hands. Please don't come for me. I'm having an eczema breakout, and I honestly forgot to put something on it before the video, and I did not realize how bad it picked up on the camera until I started editing. So ignore my hand and watch our face. Okay, let's get back to the scheduled program.
Baby Creed.
Yeah, so we want to introduce you guys, what you guys all been waiting for. I'm just kidding. But to Baby Creed, because honestly, the last time you guys saw us was, I don't even know, but I was still pregnant. And I am no longer pregnant anymore. And we have our, what's wrong? We have our little stinky winky baby.
Stinky big me. Big me. Hi. Say hi. Hey.
But yes, we wanted to come on here and introduce Creed and also talk about our birthing experience because it was definitely different.
Yeah, it was definitely different
this time than it was with Ray.
A lot. I would say
a lot different.
I would say less stressful.
Wait, which one is less stressful?
Creed.
What do you mean?
So?
In
You
what
had
way?
preeclampsia with Ray.
I mean, yes, but the actual delivery
Yeah.
was completely.
I say the pregnancy was probably less stressful.
Yeah, well, I'll say both of my pregnancies are very similar. With Rain, though, it became stressful just a little bit towards the end because I found out. That's when I found out I had pregnancy. So it's kind of just like an eye-opener type of thing. But with Creed, he was full term. Rain was not. He came early by induction, 37 weeks. So it was just completely different. But we have to tell you guys the story. How he came. Because it was just so unexpected and just crazy the way he came. He honestly is definitely, what's the word? I was about to say standing up to his name. What am I trying to say? Living up to his name. He's definitely a little fighter. Okay, where's his cute? Yeah. So with Creed, let me just give y'all the backstory. So his due date was supposed to be January 8th.
Right.
I was low-key trying to get him out of me. Not early, definitely at a safe time frame, but definitely not the 8th. So the only date that was available to be induced was the 6th. No, it was the 6th. Wait. No, you're right. You're right, because that was like the Monday or something.
Sunday.
So the 5th. So he was supposed to be due on the 8th. We had an induction date of the 5th, and at that point, I was kind of just like, well, I might as well just let him come naturally because a couple days before, I don't know the purpose. And then in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, well, he'll just come on his own time, if anything, earlier than the 8th. So I was kind of just at that point like, okay, whatever. So at this point, the day of December 31st, I remember it like it was, no, I'm just kidding. But December 31st, it was a normal day, pregnant wise. Like, I didn't feel any differently. Nothing was concerning. Nothing felt like a baby was coming. I just felt normal pregnancy discomfort. There was nothing that was telling me like, oh, you know, baby might come today, baby might come tomorrow. And also made me confident that the baby was not coming until either my due date or just a couple days before, like induction date, was because I went to the doctor, was the week before? A couple days before, a week before. It was my 38-week appointment. They told me, like, I walked in there and she basically told me, like, she literally almost went unprofessional and was like, girl, you're nowhere near dilated. So basically, like, she was just like, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's no progress. Like, I wasn't dilated. Baby didn't seem like he was coming. Like, she made me feel like he wasn't trying to come until after the 40 weeks. So that's what made me be like, oh, well, you know, I haven't really progressed. Baby isn't coming anytime soon. Like, I literally was dragging my feet on packing bags and everything because I just assumed baby was coming, you know, the next 2 weeks. So it's December 31st. All day, fine. I had church the night before, so I brought in the New Year's at church. Church was lit, I will say. It's okay. Church was lit. Now, I wasn't doing nothing crazy, but it was lit. So, it was baptisms and everything. I was happy for everybody. So, I'm just like, standing up, doing a little bounce. Apparently, that was too much of a bounce because I started to feel like a little, it almost felt like the baby, I literally felt him drop in me. But I've never experienced that with Rain because Rain was induced at 37 weeks. So like I didn't experience any of the things close to giving birth because I had my son at 37 weeks. So I didn't experience water breaking or, like contractions or anything along those lines. So in my mind, I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm doing too much movement. Let me sit down. So I sit down, church still lit, so I stand back up because I'm starting to feel a little better. I stand back up, I'm still bouncing again. I start to feel it again. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm starting to hold my stomach. I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm just doing too much movement. Church ends, I'm still fine. I even hang out for a little while. And then I head home. As soon as I got home, at this point, it's like, obviously it was like going into the New Year, so I was out until the 12th. So at this point, it was probably like around 12:30 something, 12:40 something. I get home, I'm like telling Will, I'm like, oh, I'm experiencing, I don't know if I can say the C word, but lightning. If you've been pregnant, then you know what I'm talking about, but lightning down there. I was feeling that, and I'm like, this is a little intense. I haven't felt it literally all pregnancy until that night. So I was just like, okay, I really wasn't doing too much at the church. Let me, get my pajamas, lay down. It kept happening like frequently because I was trying to put my pajamas on. I'm just like, Will, and he looking at me like, are you okay? But I just kept feeling it. I'm like, okay, so I just literally still not thinking anything is gonna happen in the next couple hours or anything. So I'm just feeling the pain. Eventually we fall asleep. It had to be around 3-4 a.m. I started to feel what now I know was contractions. Right. And I'm like, okay, and I'm a person where I kind of hold out because I'm sick of, with both pregnancies, I've been to the hospital at times where I didn't need to be there. They didn't find nothing wrong. So at this point, I was over it. So I'm like, I need this to be something real before I be like, okay, let's go to the hospital. Because he kept asking me, and I'm like, no, let's just wait it out. Let's just see, because I don't want to get there and they telling me it's nothing, turn around, go back home. So I sit there, I'm just weathering the pain. I think eventually I kind of fought those back to sleep, but then the pain came again and I woke back up. So at this point, I'm laboring, which now I know is labor. I'm laboring in the moment, and I kind of was like not gonna wake up Will, but I'm like, it's getting intense to the point where I can't even try to be quiet or try to hide it. So I wake up Will and I'm like, these are excruciating. It's I'm starting, something's not right. These aren't normal pregnancy feelings that I was feeling prior to today. So he's like, well, his first thing, he always like, you want to go to the hospital? I literally was like, no, I don't, because if in my mind I'm thinking I'm not supposed to give birth until next week. So I'm still low-key dying. It gets worse and worse and worse. Okay, it gets worse. It gets worse to the point where I'm like, okay. But even then, I don't even know what was on my mind. Even as they were getting worse, we sat around for hours before we actually went to the hospital. When I say hours, we didn't end up leaving the house till 8 something. Yeah. And mind you, I've been up for 4 so hours, just dying. So eventually it gets to the point where it's like super bad. So then, and mind you, at this point, none of our bags are packed, but the boys. Right. So like Rain's bag was packed to go over to my mama's house. Creed's bag was packed for the most part. Yeah, it was packed. It was our bags that were not packed. So I'm over here laboring, trying to throw whatever I can in the bag. He's helping me try to take a shower. I'm literally dying in the shower. He's helping me. The whole process, I'm just crazy. I even called to tell her like, hey, I'm experiencing what I think is contractions. Should I come in? And she's like, well, and I told her, at that point, I was like, they're happening every like 3 to 5 minutes, frequently. You would think that would cause concern in my mind. But she was like, well, if they're not happening, what she said, I don't know, she said 2 to 3 minutes. And she says, if it's happening in more frequent, something like that, then come in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hang up. I'm like, at that point, I sat back down. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe something will change. Maybe it's just a little Braxton. I don't know. So I'm still contracting super bad, and eventually it gets really bad to the point where I'm like, we have to go now, because at that point we still have to drop Rain off. So I knew me getting to the hospital was still delayed because we had to drop Rain off, then head out. So we get ourselves together. Will's put in the car seat wasn't even in the car. Will gets the car seat in the car, get Rain ready. We all get in the car, we head there. By the time we got there, they told me, and me first of all, immediately, I'm like, where's the drugs? Because I'm dying. Where's the drugs? Where's the shots? I need it. So when we get in there, I think when I got admitted, because obviously at this point, I don't know what's going on. When I got admitted, they was like, yeah, you're definitely in labor. And then when they checked me, I was 4 centimeters. So I basically labored at home almost my whole labor. A labor was at home, basically. So I came in and she was like, oh, you're 4 centimeters. And then, yeah, it feels like it was a drug. So then she put in paperwork or whatever. So then it was like 30 minutes later, she come in and she was like, she was like, now you're 5 centimeters. It went so fast. I feel like I just laid in the bed and they was like, here we are. But 30 minutes later, she's like, oh, now you're 5 centimeters. And then she started to scare me because she was like, well, if this goes any faster, you may not be able to get epidural. And I said, you're absolutely wrong. Because I don't know what y'all got to do. But I'm getting epidural. The way the contractions was feeling.
She was about to not let you.
No, legit. Legit. I was like, the way these are feeling, there's no way in the world I could give birth naturally. I mean, I would have literally screamed my head off. It was terrible. But we get in, 30 minutes later, I'm 5 centimeters. Then it felt like I took like a I dozed off for a little bit, so it had to be maybe an hour in between the time where she checked me from 5 centimeters. Then she comes in, she checks me again, and she's like, oh, you're 8 centimeters. I'm thinking to myself, like, how in the world is this going so fast?
It was going really fast.
Very fast. At this point, I had got the epidural, so I was able to like chill. But by the time I had the epidural kicked in for about an hour. That's when they told me I was 8 centimeters, and she's like, okay, you're very close. And then I think she might have left for just a little bit and came back, checked me, and was like, okay, it's time to push. Yeah. So I'm like, I just got here, what?
Yeah.
2 hours ago?
An hour or two.
Yeah.
Versus Rain, he was
there for
3 days.
2 days before he came.
Yeah. Like 2.5 days.
3 days. Oh yeah, okay, 2.5, because we came in late. Yeah. So, they said it was time to push. And here we are. We're about to push. And then, tell them about the heart rate. It was
he kept having decelerations in his heart rate. So we was like, a little scared. The doctor said he might have, his umbilical cord might be like around his neck. So I was like,
and at that point we weren't sure.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like they were saying that could be a possibility, or he may not be. I don't know if he may not be taking well to the medicine they hooked me up with.
Oh, yeah.
It was something that they were kind of like, okay, we just gotta watch it before we can do anything.
Right. Yeah. But so the doctor was like, get an umbilical cord maybe like tied around his neck. So we start praying, and as she began to push, I just kind of really felt led to really pray and pray over the baby and pray over her. But pushing out. All right. But so as I was praying and things, she's getting ready to push out. The baby started coming out. We see the umbilical cord tied around his neck, but it was tied around his neck and tied in a knot. So it was like double tied.
Yeah.
So the doctor had me take a picture and everything. She was like, we barely get any of these. And I'm like, yeah, he definitely a miracle, baby. Born on the first day of the year, and he had an umbilical cord tied around his neck.
And I didn't even see it. So at this point, I pushed, and I'm still laying like this. So when I'm basically hearing all the commotion of it being tied around his neck, I didn't look. At that point, I don't know if I'm traumatized or I was just stuck. I was just kind of like laying up, but then Will saw everything. So I didn't even see it until he showed me the picture.
Yeah.
So the doctor was kind of just like, look, and then he saw it. He was kind of, I don't know if you were traumatized or he was in shock.
I ain't gonna lie, the doctor was a really good doctor.
Yeah, they always are. I always forget their name, but I know my face.
Soon as he came out, because the cord like was really around his neck, but it was a loose. I mean, it could have been tighter in the womb, because you don't know, but it was like loose. But as he was like coming out, it was like tightening up, and she was like, shh. Hey, lady, she was like, shh. Got that mug off quick, and then she was like, yeah, it was tighter. I'm like, bro, I seen it, and then she was like, take a picture of the it being tied in a knot, and it was tied around his neck. So I was like, okay, yeah, this was crazy. I felt led to pray for reasons.
Yeah, and you felt that earlier in the day. Yeah, before we got there as well.
Yeah.
But I like during my pregnancy, I didn't think anything, even though that's like tragic in a sense. I didn't think anything tragic was gonna happen, but I always felt like, remember I would always say like, this is gonna be the baby that, I never really said what Creed was like, how he was going to come, but I always said like, I feel like this pregnancy is going to be the one where I either come early or something happens. And of course, that happens, and of course, Jonathan thinks we're just grateful because you just never know what can happen while the baby's in the womb. You don't know if I would have waited a little bit longer to go in the hospital or just, you just don't know. Yeah. So we're very grateful.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord that everything was good. That everything was good. It was definitely, I don't think I realized how, in a sense, traumatizing it was until I'm like holding him and like, wow, like it could have been different. Yeah. Completely different. So I was just thanking God, like, this could have been definitely a different story. But little Creed is here.
The Lord is on your side. Baby Creed is all good.
That's why I said his name is Creed for a reason. Okay? He's definitely my little fighter, okay? He's definitely a little resilient one. But, and he also, not only that, but he was also the first baby.
Oh yeah, in the hospital.
At his hospital.
Yeah.
On the first.
I was a little angry because he could have came a couple hours early so we could be in the news. You know what I mean?
The news was there?
Nah, because you know in Miami Valley, they had the first baby in the city.
Oh.
Well, they had the first baby in Ohio. Miami Valley. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but we had the first baby at the hospital.
Yeah, at his hospital.
They had the first baby in the city in Ohio. So I'm like, baby Creed, you could have made a statement. First baby in Ohio.
He made a statement.
His first baby in the hospital. You know,
yeah.
I was trying to get that $100,000.
Wait, what you mean?
I'm just playing.
I'm like, why am I hearing something different? Like, that was on the table?
Nah, I don't know what's on the table.
Probably nothing. A gift card.
I mean,
because we was the first. We got a gift card. We was the first at that hospital.
But I don't know. We got the news. People might bring the commotion. More people come. More gift cards. You never know.
Oh my God, you trying to exploit my baby? No, but it definitely was
this situation.
Vibe. It definitely was just an overall different experience. You know how you land in the bed. My girls know you land in the bed. You be like, I'm never doing this again. I said that. I didn't say that with Ryan. When I pushed Ryan out, I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this again. Like, that was, in a sense, easy. Like, I literally pushed him out and was just like, wow, I don't even feel like I just had a baby. Agree, honey. I felt it. Yeah. I was pushing for like, what, an hour, 45 minutes? I felt it.
2 pounds bigger. Alright, it was 7.
Probably 1 and some change.
Maybe 7, 6, 7.
7, 6, 7, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
but even then, he wasn't like, he stood to me, that wasn't huge. Because when he got pushed out, it was kind of just like, I think I was just pushing so long because they said he was under one of them bones. I don't know. I'm just trying to get
right.
Creed. was trying to get through, I don't know, my pelvic bone, something. But yeah, so that was just a completely different situation that I was just not expecting. I definitely prayed throughout my entire pregnancy, so I wasn't in a sense worried about anything. As far as postpartum, I think I've been doing really good. I feel like it's just so weird because it's completely different. Like with Rain, it was a completely different situation. Obviously, it's two different kids, but with Creed, it's also a completely different situation. His delivery was the worst, but then postpartum with him is better than it was with Rain. And honestly, it could be because that was my first kid with Rain, so my body is just adjusting and like, okay, this is something new. And then with Creed, it's like, okay, my body already went through it. So I'm not really sure if that's the reason, but also I think God won, because I prayed throughout my whole pregnancy. Like, I pray that I rebuke any type of postpartum depression, any postpartum blues, because I don't even think I had postpartum depression with Rain, but I definitely had some type of postpartum blues because I would cry randomly here and there. And I just felt differently. But with Creed, I feel like I've just been coasting. I feel better mentally, physically. And also I think what helped is I started the year off with a fast. So I definitely think that played a part in any type of beginning, postpartum, anything. So I definitely think the fast also helped in a sense, in a big sense, because obviously I didn't fast with Rain. I wouldn't even thought to fast because I'd be needing to eat, but this time I did fast, and it was just a peaceful experience. So I definitely think that helped.
Only thing I didn't like is last time I seen Rain come out, and I seen both of them come out like wanted to see. But
I was traumatized.
when Rain came out, he was smaller. And, I don't know why they didn't. It didn't seem like they pulled the placenta out so quickly.
No, they did. I think you was with like with Rain the whole time and like comforting me and stuff.
Yeah, but it seemed like soon as they got the umbilical cord off, they had me cut the umbilical. I cut it both times. Cut the umbilical cord. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, put the baby on mama's stomach. And I'm handing the scissors back, and I just see a pile of placenta coming out. I'm like, bro, the placenta's about big as the baby. Like, what the heck is this? That was crazy.
It was low-key traumatized. He said, we're waiting those 6 weeks for sure.
That looked like an alien coming out.
Yeah, this is our little nugget. It has been honestly not bad for me. Like, I was nervous, I was scared. Like, when we went back to work, I'm like, I'm about to have. Actually, I wouldn't say that because I was still confident throughout the pregnancy. I was like, I think I'm gonna be good. I know it's gonna be a little rough here and there, but I think I'm going to be good. So like, I have to keep that positive thing. If you're constantly like, this is gonna be terrible, I'm about to be miserable, the kids are gonna be, then that's what your experience is going to be. So I try to just be positive over what my kids is gonna do and how the hell it's gonna go. But so I was already doing that throughout the pregnancy, but honestly it's been not a breeze, but almost in a sense a breeze compared to what other stories I've heard from other moms that are 2 under 2. But for me, it's honestly just been me working around my toddler, honestly, because he's already set in his ways, he's already established, his routines are established. It's really just me working around him and bringing Creed into his routine. But honestly, it hasn't been bad. Again, it's a lot, so you have your days where you're like, okay, y'all done beat me up today. But overall, it's really just been, I'm pretty blessed, so I'll take that for granted. But this is our little munchkin. The other munchkin is upstairs, so sleep. You don't see him, but he's sleep where I'm like. just come on here because we haven't been on here. Okay. I feel like every beginning of the year we always come on. We've been gone.
Right.
But we have been gone. Yeah, we got a couple videos already recorded ready for you guys. So at least that's a start. Hope you guys enjoyed it.